Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Alain. I'm here with my Pin Dad cup this morning just because I was thinking about all the cool things my daughter is doing. She texted last night with this new opportunity that she has, and it's just fantastic to see her excelling and doing so much there at Wharton Business School and the College of Arts and Sciences there at University of Pennsylvania. Just very proud of her. So I have my Pin Dad cup this morning. Hope you are having a fantastic, wonderful Wednesday morning. I thought we would talk a little bit today about a common self-defense technique. It's taught to women in a lot of women's self-defense classes. It's as applicable to men as well. It's not only for women. And it's a good technique when the opportunity is there to use it. That's with any technique. You might have the best technique in the world, and if there's not an opportunity or opening to use that technique, it's not going to do you any good unless you can create that opening or do something else until the opening arrives. So the technique I wanted to talk a little bit about today is the ear slap. Okay, we can hit the ear. And you could hit it with a fist and it could still work. I prefer doing an open hand. It can be cupped, it can be flat, it could be a palm heel, just driving it into the ear. Any of those striking the ear, you have the potential of rupturing the eardrum. Okay. You have the potential of creating a lot of pain. It also can make somebody a little dizzy and disoriented. Now, if the person is not feeling pain for whatever reason, it can still cause the dizziness and the disorientation, which then allows you to follow up and do something else or escape to safety. We never rely on one technique ending something. We always have a plan to continue, or when the opportunity is there and we've done enough that we can then escape and get to safety, that's paramount. It's not our job necessarily to punish that person or beat them up or submit them or any of that. When it's on the street, our job is to get home safe that night. And if we have to inflict some pain and damage on a person to be able to do that, that's what we do. Now, obviously, if you're working security or law enforcement, military, you have different reasons for engaging, and that's not what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about the regular, ordinary citizen, where if you find yourself attacked and you need to get to safety, the ear slap, the ear palm heel can be an effective technique to create pain, to create dizziness, to create disorientation. You sort of, your equilibrium is screwed up, providing you the avenue to follow up techniques or to escape right there and get to safety. Want to say good morning to Dixon. Dixon says, boxing the ears, devastating. You know, Dixon, a longtime martial artist, is familiar with the technique and the damage it can do. It can be extremely painful and very disorienting. Jay and Vicky say good morning, so I want to say good morning to them. Appreciate you guys being here. You can do both ears. You can do one ear at a time. You know, both ears can really screw a guy's up, you know, and if you think it's not for men, remember Chuck Norris. I think it was Forced Vengeance when he was over there in Hong Kong and the big giant guy had him in the bear hug, squeezing him. And he was like, boom, he's boxed that guy's ears. And that provided him the opportunity to then finish up the fight and kick his butt, right? Because that's what Chuck Norris does. But it's a valid, good technique. And it can be used by smaller people. It can be used by women who might be not as strong as the male that maybe attacked them. Because notice there is no muscle, nothing protecting the eardrum. I don't care how big a person is, their ears are still vulnerable, just like the Adam's apple and throat. We don't have muscle protecting the Adam's apple and throat. We don't have muscle or anything protecting the eardrum or the eye. And that's why those are three favorite targets: ears, eyes, throat, very good targets even for a smaller, weaker person. And today I want to emphasize that the ear, striking it this way, striking it cupped, doing them both, can be very good technique to transition to something else if needed, or to escape to safety. If you're not practicing those in your training, you should. And one of the best ways to practice is if you have a bob, one of the mannequins that look like a person, they actually have a head, so you can actually practice hitting the ear. And I tell you, it will do you absolutely no good if you hit here, right? You miss the ear, it's not going to do the same thing. You have to have some accuracy to make sure you're hitting right on the ear. And that's where the bob really comes in play, where you can move around and make sure you're hitting that. And it's not just a slap with your hand. You want to get your whole body into it, or it could be a palm heel. If you get their head turned, or you get to the side, you palm heel into the ear. But you want to practice these different ways. And practicing with a bob can help because you make sure that you have the actual target and you can hit it really hard, harder than you can hit your training partners, right? So get out, practice this technique, make sure it's in your self-defense techniques. Hopefully you never have to use it, because I hope you never have to face violence. But if you do, remember ears, eyes, throat, great targets. And the ear, you want to hit right on the eardrum with a cupped hand, with a palm heel. You could even do a fist, but you're risking hurting your hand. That's why I like the open hand shots to the ears. Very effective. Cause the pain, cause the dizziness, cause the disorientation. Make sure you're justified, because there is potential to injure and hurt a person this way. So you have to be justified, because any blow to the head can cause serious damage, because your brain can bounce around there and get a concussion and all sorts of other things with this kind of strike as well. But we're only fighting and only hurting people when we are justified, because we're not going out and causing trouble. We're doing this to keep ourselves safe or someone else safe, so we can then get to safety. Dixon says, I had a master teach a 1, 2, 3, stiff arm both ears, then gain a nose smash, groin and nose smash. Sometimes hard to read the little thing. Yes, those are all targets. I mean, we're talking ears, groin, nose, throat, eyes, that muscle and things don't protect, and they can be extremely painful. Thanks for that, Dixon. I'm going to jump off here. Got a really busy day ahead, lots of things to do. I finished up that active shooter response article that I was working on. Really happy with the way it turned out. But now I'm jumping right into some other projects, both house projects, work projects, writing projects. It is all wonderful. And I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday too. And we will see you tomorrow.